All right, well, here it is. I don't know if it's working. I don't know what's going on. It's the show. And you guys will not believe me, but 4 minutes ago, every piece of equipment in here decided not to work and would not go online. Um, anyway, welcome to the show. It is Mickey Talks. I am Mickey Coachella. For those of you that know me, I am very, very happy to be here. I am also very nervous, which is a weird thing for me because what I'm attempting to do, and I want everyone to sort of understand it from the beginning. I'm just going to build a show from absolutely nothing like I used to do on the radio, except online. What I want to do is interview people again. I want to talk to people all over town, talk about the great characters and things like that. Um, but there is a little technical issue going on right now, so I apologize. But I wanted to come on at 8 o'clock and be honest with everyone. I am going to step off the camera for 2 seconds and come right back. I promise. Don't go anywhere. The technical part of this world is hilarious, especially when you're basically doing everything alone. And I'm excited to be doing this. The first thing I want to do is kind of talk to the Facebook crowd. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, thank you so much. You guys have been amazing to me over the years. I've never really been on YouTube before, so I'm not really sure how, if, and even how this is working. I'm sure my phone will blow up if it isn't, I guess, but hoping for the best and seeing what's happening. So anyway, if you're watching this, I can't really respond in real time on Facebook, but I'm in delay on YouTube as well, but I'm going to try to. So this show will basically have things in it like if it was a radio show eventually. Guests, segments. I'm going to do segments, but it's going to be different kinds of segments. Um, it's everything that radio had in a way, except I'm kind of like doing it uncensored and really don't like the traffic. Like I'm gonna do traffic for tomorrow morning. I'll show you guys that later. And it's called traffic tomorrow morning, probably. So I'll do that every day because it's basically the same thing. And when I was on the radio and we had to do traffic, it drove me crazy because I didn't understand why every morning people were surprised that they were backed up or there were traffic issues or anything like that. And there is one other person in the room that I may talk to, and that's Derek. Derek is my kind of comedy partner. And Derek, you can just yell because people won't be able to see you. But Derek, how does everything look? Are we okay?
It looks good. Sounds good.
So you got to click on the Facebook Live link. It doesn't go automatically live. You have to actually click the link if you're not there. Some people may not be. I don't really know how it works yet. But people are apparently coming in. I see the chat. I'm learning how to do this, everybody. Um, and but anyway, getting back to this show, um, I wanted like I'm going to be interviewing everything from band people to restaurant owners to just like I used to do on the radio. I think that one of the things that I miss the most is just talking to all the different characters around town. And I think there's like a place for that still. And maybe it's not the radio anymore. It's certainly not television. Nobody cares locally. They do their little stories, local TV, but they don't really get into it. They can't. You know what I mean? They got to cover all that murder and all that stuff, which I'm going to try to stay away from too. Like, I'm going to do news stuff, but it's like I'm going to do bullshit news. It's literally like I'm going to read news stories and then tell you why they're bullshit. Derek, we talked about that, right?
We did.
That's going to be fun. I'm gonna try stories tonight. Um, but the main thing I wanted to do was just come on here and tell everybody what I'm looking to do. I have a lot of guests lined up. I'm going to do this every night at 8 o'clock, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of this thing. I am certainly like I would love to have sponsors. I don't even know how half this works, like how you make money doing this. People said, dude, if you do a YouTube show, people will watch it and then you'll make money. And I'm like, all right, well, that sounds great. So I'm doing the show. So I'm waiting for the money. Hopefully it'll come in. Hopefully it won't. I also want to try. I don't know. I thought I had it hooked up where I could take phone calls on the show, but apparently it's not really working right. So, what I might try to do is take some calls if anybody's watching from people through my phone and just literally use the speaker because it's kind of hilarious to think about. You know what I mean? So, Derek, by the way, Derek, I have a question,
Yes.
and you may not know this. If somebody clicks on it from Facebook, right? If they click on it from Facebook, do they basically then are they on YouTube automatically or do they have to sign in?
They're on YouTube automatically.
So if they just click the link, they're watching it.
From what I can tell, I tell them to subscribe. Get them
Yeah, subscribe to this channel, whatever that means. I don't even know how you do it, but subscribe to the channel. Apparently that's important. My kids told me that too, my sons especially. I want to thank especially my sons, Michael and Carlin, because it's, well, they're the only two sons I have, but they both really helped me a lot with this. Carlin was down here yesterday and really got me really close. So I appreciate if you guys are like patient during this and you are able to understand that this is hilarious to me that I'm doing a radio show online. You know what I mean? If somebody could text me that knows me and is watching this, just let me know how it sounds and looks. Here, they're coming, they're flying in now. And it's hilarious, by the way. Messages, okay, now I see. People are starting to do it. By the way, this is how I'm doing it. A friend of mine just texted me, Derek, and said, by the way, how ugly is Derek if you're the face of the show? Derek is 10 times better looking than me. Derek is 1,000 times better looking. Come over here, Derek. At least say hi. Come over. This is Derek. Just look in the camera there, Derek. You're not going to be in front of us. Yeah.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, that's Derek.
How y'all doing?
Good to see you. All right, get the hell out of here, Derek. You're too good looking. Appreciate it, buddy. So Derek, this is going to be funny. So I got to try to get these things, like all these little things I made for the show. And I got to, this is the part that I don't think people really understand, which is to me the funniest part, is that I truly, like when I had a radio show, there were producers around me that had everything set up. I pushed buttons. Like I'm everything now. I'm literally everything. By the way, I'm going to put headphones on for a second and see if this next bit even plays. I really wanted to. I just don't know if it's definitely going to work. So I got to try to time this. But I love doing this stuff in real time. So let's see if this works. If the camera switches over and the audio works, this will be a miracle. Here we go. This is weather 4 months from now. That's exactly what I'm doing. So yes, the weather 4 months from now. It's a bit I'm going to do every day, Derek. The weather 4 months from now. And by the way, this is not scientific, but I just want to see how accurate I am. 4 months from now, I'll go back and look. Here's my prediction. So where are we? March, right? April, May, June, July. What's today's date? 18th. July 18th. 89 degrees. No, 93. 93 all day, incredibly sunny. But around 5 o'clock, we're going to get one of them wicked ass afternoon thunderstorms. It's going to be brutal. I'm just telling, but it's only going to last about a half hour. But it's going to be one of them like when you're leaving work and you got to walk through puddles. So that's what I predict for July 18th. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering, that was weather 4 months from now. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. It worked, right? Did it look good online? I have no idea. I'm just so happy that I'm doing this stuff because this is the stuff I want to do. Okay, also, everybody, here's something. I was always a fan of just like meeting people in the public or like they would call into the show and I would make them regulars. So, Derek, what I'm looking to do is I'm talking straight out now. I'm looking for people that want to come on the show as like regulars. I'm looking for a news person, but the news person Listen, I'm not interested in what the news person thinks or believes. I want no agenda. I want the facts, and then I want to comment on them. And I want you, if you got something to say, I'll listen, but I get the last word. So that's the job description for my news person.
Pretty simple.
Sports guy, I'm looking for a 3-minute sports update, and it must include the Premier League. And it has to have more than 50% in that 3 minutes covering the Premier League in England. Just so everybody's clear. This is my show. This is how the sports I'm going to do. I'll talk about baseball and football, but if you know me, soccer is the most important game in the world to me. So I want my sports to have a lot of Premier League in it. Yeah. What's that?
That will definitely work.
Definitely. It's also going to make me huge in the black community too. My soccer updates. That's going to make me huge.
Real football.
Oh, well, that's right, Derek. It's real football. I don't know if you're agreeing with me or NFL, but either way, sounds good. So yeah, I'm looking for, like I said, I'm also looking for a random traffic person. Now, what I mean is this: people are going to watch this show at any time, Derek. People are going to be watching this show 3 days from now. So I'm looking for somebody that wants to do random traffic. You can pick any city in America, but I want you to do it at whatever time you're doing the update. So, for instance, if you were to call in now, you would say traffic in Oklahoma City right now on the something. I just want traffic all over the country. I have no idea why. It's just something I always wanted to do. I think it'd be funny. We're going to get into that.
I think it'll be funny.
Yep. Another thing I'm going to do, Derek, is weekly. I'm going to do a spotlight of the week, a local band, because I was a big music fan, live music fan. Anybody that knows, I love live music. I've been in bands. Friends. I love music, and I think there's a big absence of youth playing in bands. And I'm sure they're out there, but I want to give younger bands a chance to be known around town. You know what I mean? I just want to kind of do a show that tells people what's happening, and then talk about things that I like talking about. And one of the things, Derek, that I want to talk about on this show is the Inner Harbor. Are you a fan?
Not really.
You're not a fan of the Inner Harbor? Here's the
It's
thing.
not like it used to be when we were younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this story I'm about to tell is 100% real. I got to think how old I was. I was 13, I think, something like that. Anyway, me and my friend Lou Lambros went down to Harbor Place, and I think it was either the opening of Harbor Place or there was some anniversary, like the 5-year anniversary, right? And the governor was there. And if you've been to the harbor, you know they have the Constellation ship. You know the Constellation, that old Civil War era Revolutionary War ship, right? I was on that we were the only two on it, me and my friend Louie, and we went down, and underneath, I'm not making this up. I have to get him on the phone one day to tell this story with me. There was a very little person. I don't know what you call, I don't know the right word. I don't. Is it little person?
Dwarfs, I think they're called.
Is it dwarf? I know midget's wrong, right?
No, you can't say.
You can't say midget?
But
I don't even understand anymore. I'm being honest.
Look,
I'm so little people, right? I want, this was a little person. By the way, anybody wondering, I'm a 5'3". I'm as close as you can get. I don't know if I would legally qualify as a little person, but I know this much. If I don't, I'm the smallest you're allowed to be as a regular person. Like, I'm literally the smallest regular size person you can be. Because next down would be a little person. What would you be if you were shorter than me? You're a little person. You better be telling me that's the right word, by the way.
Hey, listen, that's the last one I heard that is politically correct, from my understanding.
If that's not politically correct, I'm not trying to be funny. Well, I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not trying to be fallacious or ignorant or anything like that. I don't know what it is that you're supposed to say anymore. I don't. So I hope it's little person, in all fairness. So little people, I met this guy on the downstairs of the Constellation, right? And me and Louie go down, and the harbor is packed, dude. I mean, all the way around it. And we're on the ship, and we go down, and this guy looks at us, and we're kind of chuckling because I mean, he was a little person, and he was standing there in full, like, whatever time frame that ship is from, he was dressed like that, right? So I'm kind of chuckling. You don't see a guy in a costume every day on a boat, right? So we go, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, I got to pay attention. I'm about to fire the cannon." And I look down, and there's literally a cannon right there. And right, he goes, "Y'all can stand here, but back up a little bit. Back up." And I'm like, "All right, man, I'll back up. Settle down." So I back up, me and Louie, and next thing you know, man, he pulls. Oh, right before he pulls it, here's the funniest part. He turns around. Imagine seeing this. This is all we saw. I doubled the dosage. Bang! He pulls that string, dude. My friend's voice, I'm not making this up. It sounded like helium, like it was a cartoon voice. He goes, I can't, wish I could do it. He's like, "I can't hear anything." And I went to talk and I said, "I can't hear anything either." And we both sounded like Minnie Mouse. And it was the absolute funniest thing. We laughed. We could not get off the boat. We were laughing so hard. This guy was so into it, man. He was so into pulling the string on that double dose. Does anyone else remember? If you're, please go to the YouTube channel. Please sign in if you're watching this in a different way. The only comments I can see are on YouTube. I don't know if anyone's commenting in Facebook. I have no idea. I'm trying my best. But I hope you're watching it, and I hope people are in here. I don't know. But that story, Derek, that's one of the so the harbor. Why I wanted to talk about the harbor. You know, I never took when I was young, like parents took their kids to the harbor, right? I was kind of that age when the harbor really came about. I was like 14. So my parents weren't really taking me anywhere. You know what I mean? We didn't go out that much as a family then. Like you do when you're little. But a lot of parents would take their kids. And I thought about this. I never really took my kids to the harbor. And it makes me sad. But I think the city I want to get this city back to being great again. You know what I mean? I love this city. And I think it's fixable. And I don't want to get serious, but there's some changes I think we need to make that would help things. And one of them is this. I really think we need like a little, I think you should be able to rent jet skis to like kind of book around the harbor. I don't even know if you can. Do you know if you can? Can you rent jet skis? Now, here's the problem. Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I have a feeling why you can't, because I would imagine if you fell in, you would just probably disintegrate, right? I don't know how long you'd make it. So I would think that might be a good idea. I don't know. But I'm excited that if we can do that, you know what I mean? Another thing I think we need to do in the city is I think we should put like, what's the word? You ever been to Times Square?
Never
You've never been to New York?
Well, I've been in New York, but never.
You've never been in Manhattan, Times Square?
Never been in a city in New York.
Derek.
I'm serious.
Okay, that's a bucket list thing. You got to do that. It's one of the most amazing places to stand on planet Earth. The electricity,
It always looks amazing.
the energy is, you can't imagine what you're actually it's overwhelming. But I think we should do that with the harbor. I think that we should light that thing up. I think it should be the busiest thing in the city. I think there should be so much presence there that you feel incredibly safe. You got the stadium 4 blocks from it. You got incredible restaurants all around the harbor and businesses that want to do it. You know, we just got to figure out a way to make it safe for anyone. You know what I mean? Anyone,
Not just the tourists.
not just the tourists, like anyone. And you got to admit too, for a mid-sized city, it really the one road that just goes around the harbor, I think they should build a little bridge to jump from like Key Highway over to like Fells Point. For real. They could do it, man.
Yeah,
They could do it. Even if it was a toll bridge. Like, oh, it ruins the skyline. Of what? Like the people, that's another thing. Derek, some some people don't make sense when you think about progress. I think you try to make things better, and then they go, "Well, you can't put a solar thing in the ocean because I can see it." Well, what is? I mean, I get it, but I'm not even for them big solar things. They're dumb in the ocean. I think they are stupid. But that was a bad example,
No, no,
actually.
no.
I just tried to use something I'm against as a reason, yeah, to make an example. But no, like I really think like there are things in the world that people would be amazed at how basic and simple it makes things, but we're all hung up on a lot of stuff that doesn't matter. Like I say, put the bridge from like Key Highway right into like whatever that is over there.
Come on, into Phelps.
Well, almost like bypass. Yeah, kind of right into Fells. And let that traffic that goes around the city
Have another way out.
make the city a little easier to move around in if you're not trying to get through it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just congested around everywhere.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of people that are in the city. Like, for instance, I live on the east side of the city. So if I'm when you're at the harbor, if you're on the west side of it or even the south side, you got to go all the way through it and around. You come around. What is that? You would take Light Street and all that.
Where Federal Hill is.
Yeah, Fed Hill, and you come around. I'm saying just jump right over the water. If you want to go to Fells Point, bang. No, it's New York got like 4 bridges, 3, whatever. I don't know. But some tunnels too. Hey, why can't we have a little bridge to jump over?
Great.
Probably take $400 billion and 17 years to build if the government does it. So I would like to petition 3 people right now. I'm serious about this. I would like to petition, and you guys can start hashtagging and all that shit, spread the word. I would like to petition 3 people. I would like to petition Steve Bisciotti, who owns the Ravens, who I find to be one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. Kevin Plank, who owns Under Armour, who I have never met, who I hear is a wonderful guy. I think I may have met him once in passing, but never got a real chance to talk to him. I've actually had a chance to talk to Steve Bisciotti. He's a really cool guy. So those 2 guys, and then for no other reason whatsoever, just because I'd like to have him around, is I would like I would like to have involved in this. I just forgot his name, and I'm literally drawing a blank live right now. Give me 2 seconds. So it is Steve Bisciotti, it is Kevin Plank, and Ed Hale. I don't want Ed to put any money up, even though he could. I don't want Ed to put any money up, and here's why. Ed has given Baltimore, I think it's 11 soccer championships, professional titles, like champions of the league, the Baltimore Blast. They're the most winningest franchise in Baltimore history. So Ed just deserves, I think, to be involved in this when they name the bridge. I think it should be the Ed Hale Expressway. But I think if Kevin Plank and Steve Bisciotti really thought about this, here's how it benefits those 2. Obviously, Kevin Plank, the Under Armour guy, he's buying everything down there. Every single thing down there. Both sides of the water, I think. So it benefits him to have easy jump over access, right? So jump over. And then the Ravens play right there. People can get right out of the city and boom, you bypass the tunnel. It frees up traffic. Plus, Ed Hale was really good at transportation stuff. I'm telling you, this isn't a bad idea. These ideas I have always come to fruition. You know how many ideas I had and I said on the air and then it came true? Did you know I had the idea to go to Mars before Elon Musk? Yeah, I did. I'm on the radio saying I think somebody should go to Mars. And then look, I get off the radio and he does it like I didn't say it. I'm just tired of people trying to steal all. Yeah, I'm just tired of giving away all my ideas. It's not fair. I don't think it's fair anyway. What's that? I don't know. What are you on? YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
My friend Ivano, by the way, Ivano, he owns Red Eyes Dock Bar. And he brought me up talking about bridges. Do you know I cannot drive over the Bay Bridge, Derek? I cannot do it. So if I ever have a show over the Bay Bridge, which I do every other Sunday in the summer. I have to go to Red Eyes Dock Bar to host the bikini contest. I know, horrible life. But I do have to drive over that bridge, so I always have to get someone. Ivano always sends someone to the McDonald's on this side of the bridge. You know where that McDonald's is? I park there, and one of his people picks me up and drives me over the bridge every other Sunday. It's incredible and nice, and I love it. But yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, I can't do the bridge at all. So, Ivano, thank you for all the patience. But yeah, no, he was saying because I said that bridge downtown. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Yeah. Mark Ronick in the room. Hi, Mark. Mark had a podcast with those of you who may remember Lowell Melzer. I don't know what did. I think Lowell retired from TV or quit. I don't know what happened to Lowell. Loved Lowell Melzer. He was a great guy. I would love my drink. Thank you, Derek. Some shows. I got to tell people about some shows. This Saturday, this Friday, I am at Church of Satire in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Friday night hosting Meant to Be, a game show for couples. Saturday, one sec. I will be Saturday at, I don't know if I can show labels on here or not. If not, if I'm not allowed, I'm sorry. But I don't endorse anything, by the way, unless you give me money, and then I will gladly endorse you. But Saturday I will be at 24 Ale House in Bel Air, but that is sold out, correct, Eric? That show is sold out. The following week, where the hell am I?
Looks like we're back at what's it called?
Grunwald in Canton. Yeah, I think it's a Polish social club. I think it's Polish. I'm not sure. Anyway, I know people can't hear Derek, and I apologize, but look, I'm gonna talk. There's only one person in the room. Although Derek, you know what we're gonna do next show? We could probably do it now, honestly. Yeah, I'll have you a mic next show. I didn't think about it, and I'll probably put the camera over there. We'll figure something out, just so we can do it if we want. Yeah, of course, man. I can't have my guy not ever being. You're the best looking guy in the room. Yeah, that's the sad part. There's only two of us. Anyway, I'm getting tons of texts, so this is working. Oh my God! Like my phone blew up. People are saying the nicest things to me. Thank you, everyone. I want to try to make a phone call, Derek, to see if it works, if people could hear it through my speakerphone, but I don't know who to call. I'm trying to think who I can just call live and tell them I'm on the air, and they won't really care, huh?
All these people, I'm sure you can find one.
I know.
The chat room is blowing up on YouTube.
So. Okay, cool. Yeah, listen, I don't know how this show's going to go. I'm going to do it every day. It's going to be more organized, obviously. It's going to be more segments. I'm just so grateful. I want to take a moment to thank Derek Stroman. Thank you for all of your hard work and your commitment and the promise that you made to me. And I promised you some things, and I will not let you down. To my friends and family, I'm not going to go through and name everyone. Everybody, you know who you are. And the people that have helped me bring this thing together, it's unbelievable. And if it works the way I want it to and the way you guys will see it, I think you're going to love it. All I'm really trying to do is build a show about all of us. That's really all I want to do. The whole town. It's just a show about the town and things outside of it. But that's really how I always did the radio show. I love talking about the neighborhoods we grew up in. Because, hey, Derek, when somebody says to you, where did you grow up? What do you say?
I say all over the place.
Well, yeah, I forgot.
Personally,
yeah. Yeah, you grew up.
I'm from Baltimore.
You say you're from Baltimore. So, but if you know a guy and you know he's from Baltimore and you go, where'd you grow up? They never say Baltimore. They always say the neighborhood they grew up in. You know what I mean? I'm from Catonsville. You know, I'm from Hamilton. I'm from Towson. I'm from wherever, Perry Hall, Dundalk, Essex, Glen Burnie. Like, I love that part about us. It is what makes us so like fun to be a part of. You know what I mean? Because there's so many of these communities, and so many of them are so, what's the word? Like, they're the same. They're just, it's just the location and the occupations are different. It's why I love Baltimore. I mean, I do. I love it. And that's what I want to do the show about. A couple things I wanted to mention here on the first show. I really want to take a moment to say that Harford County, between the Barrel House, Looney's, the Local, Das Beer Hall, that whole Bel Air, well, the Barrel House is really in Falston, but like all these restaurants and bars really do a great job. Like, I noticed, I look around town for Bel Air, Harford County does all those bar owners and restaurants really deserve a lot of credit. They do a good job. And I'm going to get some of those people in here and talk about them. You know what I mean? And promote their businesses. That's another thing. Like, I don't think radio does that anymore, really. Let guys come in. And by the way, I want to put this because somebody sent me a text. I am not saying anything bad about 98 Rock, certainly. When I say they don't do that on radio anymore, I'm talking about in general. Like, things are just different now, I think. And I love those guys. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like a really local, specific kind of show where people can I just want to be the center of the town square. That's all I want to do. Yeah, your buddy Paul at Das Beer Hall, David. We'll say hi to him for you. And look at all these. See, I say one place and then people start saying names. Yeah, Lansdowne's in the house. Yeah, Highlandtown. Well, let me tell you something about Highlandtown. That's where my grandmother's from. Did you know that? Yeah, my grandmom and I think one of my grandparents, maybe three of them were from Highlandtown. And then my grandmother, I think, is Govans, which is like a little tiny part of Baltimore tucked over by York Road and like Belvedere, but just a little south of that. Yeah, I think that's where she. By the way, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I really don't, but I know I'm close. You know what I mean? I've always said, if you get close enough to the truth, people know your intent. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be. I don't want to be an encyclopedia here of knowledge, but I do want people to come together. Another thing I want to talk about, Derek, is we're going to talk about this a lot on this show. Is you and I went last week or whenever it was. I met you and we had lunch down in, what is that area called? Edgemere? Sparrows Point, Edgemere. You took me to a place and we had what was that place called? The 1-9. We're gonna be doing a show there. I forget the date, but in May. Yeah. Little cool old style bar. We're gonna do an old school comedy show in there. Gonna be a lot of fun. But then we went to another place, the Sail Inn, and the food was spectacular. Little neighborhood place. There's so many of them. And I love those kind of places. I do. And those are places I want to talk about and things I want to promote on the show. You know what I mean? Also, Jay Scott just said, let's get ready for the O's. Listen, excuse me. 2 years ago, Oriole Fever came back to this town. And last year, we were all in it, gung-ho, start to finish. They had a great run. Didn't go the way we wanted. But I'm going to tell you something, Derek. I'm convinced. This is it. March 18th, 2025. I'm saying it right now. That the Orioles. I'm not saying it. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx it. Diane, you're right, Diane. Neighborhood places are the best. They really are. I just was in Coco's Pub the other day. And It's been there. Yeah, it's where I grew up. It's been there since I don't know 1,000 years, I think. And I think George Washington slept there. Um, you ever notice that about places like all over the country? George Washington slept here. You figure that guy did a lot of traveling. George Washington.
He's from a town in Virginia. I forget the name of it.
He's from a town in Virginia. Yes, he is, Derek.
I can't think of the name of the town. I knew it. Is it Lee? It's not Leesburg. It's somewhere around there.
I forget the town he was born in, but it's just so funny, like the way you said that. George Washington, he's from Virginia. No, you don't say. You don't say.
Hey, I'm gonna Google it now.
Yeah, George Washington Slept Here is an awesome movie. Jaya, is that a documentary or is that like a like something you just made up? I would love to know the answer to that question. That would be great if that's a real documentary because that's one I would watch, without a doubt. Hey, what segments have we done? Did we do traffic for tomorrow? We did traffic? No, I don't think we didn't do traffic. We did weather, right? All right, let me try this then. Hold on a second. All right, and then because I'm gonna go to my little file here, and I'm gonna bring up. Let me make sure this is the right one. Hold on. You guys got to remember this is live. I'm worrying how to do this, and I have no idea. So here we go. Hope this works again. Didn't work. Hold on. Tomorrow morning traffic, probably. Yes, tomorrow morning traffic, probably. 695 is going to be a shit show. Starting somewhere around 620. It's going to get really bad. You're going to get aggravated, especially if you're driving from, like, say, the Golden Ring side of 695 and you got to go all the way over to the Pikesville side. Those two areas suck every day. I don't know why anybody complains. We talked about traffic earlier. We did. But tomorrow's traffic will be this. 83 South, right when you get to the Beltway, it's going to jam up, especially if you're going, like, west, Derek. It's going to, just letting you know, if you're going east, it's a little easier, but that can bottle up too. 95 South is going to be terrible anywhere from Harford County all the way through the tunnels. South of the tunnels, from the tunnels down to 495 can be stop and go for a while, but just know whatever you normally takes to get to work, probably what it's going to take, but add 20 minutes just in case to be safe. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen. And that, of course, was traffic. All right. Anyway, it's tomorrow morning traffic, probably. I think it's a great show concept. I mean, if anybody from the radio days are listening, these little bits I'm doing are really just for them because it's just a little thing that radio people always joke about. How, like, if you do something and you meet someone and they do the same thing, you have jokes about the process of it. You know what I mean? So radio guys are always like, dude, traffic every 10 minutes. It's like you're in a traffic jam for an hour and a half, right? Like, why do you need it every 10 minutes? Right. And the thing that always drove me crazy, radio guys, and Howard Stern talked about this in his movie. So I'm not like doing anything original here, but like where you have to say the time all the time. 8:27. Oh, by the way, right now it's 8:40 p.m. If that's real time right now, 8:40 p.m. I don't know the weather, but it's apparently important when you're driving. 38 degrees right now, clear sky, March 18th, 8:40 p.m. You're listening to Mickey Talks, hosted by Mickey Coachella. If you're not sure who Mickey was, he was a one-time Chippendales dancer. Didn't go very well. I went to my first audition. Well, I sent my first audition actually in videotape, and they loved it. And then I had to go do it in person, and they realized, wow, he's very small. We can't have him. So what I did then was I became a host for live male dance shows at Maxwell's. I used to host male strippers. Like I was the MC. Dude, I'm being dead ass serious. And let me tell you something. Any woman that ever says a man is aggressive around strippers has never seen women around male strippers. I'm telling you now, it is like You know the running of the bulls in Spain? This was like the running of the whole of the running of the very sexually aggressive ladies. Like I literally was groped from the moment I walked out of the dressing room until I got off 2.5 hours later, went to my car and I cried. I felt so violated, Derek. I got grabbed 150 times. And the reason I felt violated was because no one followed through with anything. You know what I mean? It was just all this grabbing and then kind of like winking and see you later. So I cried for a while. But I do wish that job on anyone. It was amazing. But the guy dancers, I got to be funny. Male dancers, if I can be real about this, female, I've spent a lot of time hosting strippers and, emceeing events and bikini girls. I've seen it all, dude. Women are full of themselves a little bit. I mean, I get it. They're attractive women. They're built great. They're wearing nothing. Men are staring at them and throwing them money. Of course, you're going to have an ego. But the dudes, like, I can't, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say because it's hilarious. When a dude has to put on a pair of underwear, right, Derek, you pull the band out a little bit, you pull them up over your stuff, waistband snaps, good to go. But when you have underwear that have an elephant trunk on the front and you have to actually fill the elephant trunk, right? I couldn't fill the tusk on one of them. These dudes were filling the whole trunk. Like I would just be like, damn. And then they'd just be standing there talking to you. And I'm like, and these guys were tall. I'm 5'3". It's just like, you know what this is like, having a conversation with a dude. He's like, hey man, don't mess my intro up. Whatever you do, make sure you get the name of my city right, my song right, and all my cool phrases. And I'm like, okay, man, see you later. And then they walk away. And I'm like, I just had a dude's elephant trunk in my face while he was giving me directions. You know how sad that is as a grown ass man? That's my job, to have to take this guy's credits. Yeah, don't forget, I'm from Detroit. My name is Ricky Rocket. In case you forgot, I'm 6'6", 230 pounds. Dude, I'm telling you, man, it was unreal. And then, did I ever tell? I'm gonna tell this story on the first show. This is a very true story. When I was at the radio station, I don't know if I'm allowed to use names. I don't know the rules about this.
We'll go over the bylaws.
All right, so I'm gonna tell this story, and people are just gonna have to figure this out. Okay, so when I was at the radio station, the first Super Bowl win against Oakland. Remember that? I mean, the AFC Championship game, the first Super Bowl we won, the first one. I got to go to the, what do you call it? Out in whatever, where they train and shit, where the facility, the Ravens thing. I got to go there in Owings Mills in the locker room to interview them and shit. So I'm standing there one day, and practice had ended, and I'm in the locker room. And in front of me is the old kicker, not the Royal Farms kicker. Right, it was Matt Stover. He was sitting down, and it was the shower door was like right next to where he was sitting, and I was kind of talking to him. And out of the shower, a guy came. Now, this is how I'm going to describe him. He's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life in person. I'm just going to say that. That's who I'm talking about. Ravens fans, figure it out. He kind of had a towel around his neck, but really nothing around him. It's all men in the locker room. Like, I've been in locker rooms. I don't care. But he was so tall, and he walked right by me that his junk was eye level of me standing just about. And he was very close as he walked by. And then when he walked by, I was like, wow, that almost hit me in the face. Like, it was like this. Like, he walked by just like this. Like, and as he walked by, it felt like a breeze. Like, Like his dick air hit me in the face, like whatever air his dick created walking by. And I felt it and I could not help myself. And I'm so embarrassed by this. But I kind of turned around and I looked back at another player. I'm not going to say who. He just looked at me and it was a very awkward moment. And we had eye contact and he just looked at me and went like this. I know. Swear to God. That's a true story in the locker room. He went, I know. And we both just kind of cracked up. But yeah, it was unbelievable. It was like one of the funniest things I've ever experienced. Well, listen, everyone, this is going to kind of be what the show's going to be about. I'm going to start having guests hopefully tomorrow night. I have a line on 3 people and we're trying to make it work. So I don't want to put anyone on the spot if they can't make it. If they can, I'm going to be very excited. I'm going to learn these rules as I go, learning what I can do and can't do. I'm also going to come up with new bits. If you're a person that's interested in being a character, you have an idea for the show, something you want to videotape and send in and I can play, talk about it. If you want to send a clip of your band in, please. I'm going to give everyone an email right now, an email address that I would like you to use for this stuff. And the email address is my last name. No, don't use that one. Wait a minute. Think of the best one here. Here's what we're going to do, Derek. Not doing this. Just send the emails to mickeycomedy@aol.com. If you have an idea for the show, please send them. I'm really, really excited about this. I hope you guys are kind of figuring out the show I want to do. Nothing crazy. It's going to be fun. Eventually, what I want to do, so you guys know, I'm just starting out at night, not to get in anyone's way. I'd eventually like to move this show to like when you're in your cars, on your way to work or coming home. And you could just hook your phone up to your car and listen to the show. Like a local radio show, but I'm doing it right here and it's going online instead of over the free airwaves. It's the only difference. So hopefully we'll all get used to doing it this way and it'll be fun. And as this show builds, it'll get more and more organized and more in depth. If you would like to be a sponsor, please, again, mickeycomedy@aol.com. If you know anybody that would like to be, please give them the information. The show is called Mickey Talks. You're finding me here. Please spread the word. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you're on the YouTube page, just subscribe. I'm going to post these and people will see it. Thank you, everyone, so much. I can't thank everyone that helped me enough. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to tell everybody where I'm doing this from because there's a lot of government oversight when it comes to me, Derek. I don't know if you know that or not, but CIA's after me. So, anyway, listen, I'm just super excited. I'm super, what's the word? Just over the moon about this thing. And thank you, everyone, so much. And we will all talk very soon, as in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. See you guys later.